So there's a business model that's made millions of dollars by getting people to share their deepest, darkest secrets online. And the genius part, they never had to pay for content. Not a single fucking dollar. People just voluntarily confess their affairs, their crimes, their mental breakdowns, even their most shameful thoughts. All for fucking free. And these platforms turn that raw human vulnerability into traffic, into ads, and eventually into massive payouts. I'm talking about PostSecret and Whisper. And the business model behind anonymous confession apps is way darker than you think.
Officials with the Whisper app are now helping police investigate a sexual assault in Ardmore. The victim, a teenage girl, says she met a man known only as Joe.
An app that helped people spill their secrets has been shut down. That's tonightsdaily.com.
I want to join the army to serve my country. The weird thing is I hate my country.
So let me start with PostSecret because this thing was absolutely massive in the mid-2000s. It started in 2005 when a guy named Frank Warren printed 3,000 postcards with his home address on them, and literally he handed them out around Washington DC. The instructions were quite simple. Write a secret you have never told to anyone, make it into art and mail it to me. He actually thought maybe a few people would respond. Instead, he literally got flooded. Thousands of postcards started pouring in every single week. People confessing every single thing, like affairs, abortions, abuse, addictions, things they would never told anyone. And Frank started posting them on a blog. No real monetization strategy at first, just sharing these raw confessions. But here's what actually happened. The traffic surprisingly exploded because people are obsessed with secrets, especially other people's secrets. So within a few years, PostSecret became one of the most visited websites on the internet. And Frank literally turned it into books, multiple New York Times bestsellers, gallery exhibitions, a TED Talk and speaking tours like multiple different times. All from free content that people were desperate to send him. And then came Whisper in 2012 and they took the same concept but scaled it into a tech platform. So Whisper was an app where you could post anonymous confessions over images and it blew up instantly. And actually at its peak, Whisper had over 30 million monthly users, billions of page views, and unlike PostSecret, this was a venture-backed tech company. They raised over $60 million in funding. So how did they actually make money? There were three different ways and this is where the business model gets quite interesting. The first one is actually advertising. With that much traffic, they could charge premium rates for ads. Millions of people scrolling through confessions every single day. That's advertiser code. Second was native content. They partnered with brands to create sponsored confessions that blended in with real posts. So you're reading someone's confession about cheating on their partner and the next post is a subtle ad for dating app. You barely notice that. So number 3 is actually controversial and this is the scary part. Data mining. Because even though the posts were anonymous, Whisper was collecting metadata, location data, what time people actually posted, what kinds of confessions were trending in different cities, and all the behavioral patterns. And that data, extremely valuable. They sold insights to researchers, marketers, even media companies looking for story leads. So you have got millions of people sharing their most vulnerable moments, thinking it's private, and behind the scenes, the company is packaging that vulnerability and selling it. Now here's why this model works so well psychologically. Anonymity removes the social cost of honesty. When you can't be identified, you will say things you will never say out loud. That's why confession booths exist. That's why people open up to strangers on planes. And these platforms understood that quite deeply. PostSecret actually worked because mailing a physical postcard felt permanent but also distant. You would never see Frank Warren. And you would never be confronted. So people confess things they would be holding up for years. Whisper worked because it was instant and digital. You could confess something at 2 a.m. when the guilt was eating you alive. And within seconds, it was out in the world. That instant relief, that was quite addictive for many people. But here's the actual problem. These platforms didn't just provide a space for honesty. They commodified it. PostSecret at least had a human element. But Frank curated the postcards. He responded to people. There was some level of care involved as well. And Whisper, that was an algorithm. A machine designed to keep you scrolling, keep you posting, keep you engaged. Because engagement meant ad revenue. And actually when confessions becomes content and content becomes data and data becomes profit, you have turned human vulnerability into a fucking product. So what actually happened to these platforms? PostSecret is still around but it's not what it used to be. The block traffic actually fucking dropped. The cultural movement passed out, but Frank Warren made millions from books and speaking gigs, so he won at the end. And Whisper, that's where things got quite messy. In 2014, they got exposed for tracking users who claimed to be anonymous. Turned out the app was logging way more data than people actually thought. The Guardian actually ran an investigation and trust collapsed. The app's still technically alive, but it's almost a ghost town now. And that's the actual pattern with these platforms. They actually rise fast because they promise a safe space for honesty. Then people realize their secrets are being monetized, and trust actually dies. But the model doesn't die, it actually just evolves forever. You have got apps like NGL, Yikayak, Anonymous, Reddit Threads, same playbook. Give people anonymity, let them confess, harvest the engagement, sell the data. The business model is quite simple. Secrets are free, traffic is valuable, and vulnerability is the most profitable content on the internet. So if this breakdown changed how you see these apps, make sure to subscribe to this channel and don't forget to leave a comment down below. See ya.